kind of love seats that face each other and a 42-inch flat screen television in between each one of them. So you could put two people on the seat facing two people on the seat and a screen, and he's got a keyboard and a mouse, and it's a visual aid. Think of menu selling in the F&I. Here's the visual aid the whole time. So your eyes are looking up here as you're occasionally referencing the person. And he pulls up the first screen, and it says 1, 1, and 1. And it says, well, here at Honda, Champ Honda, we believe in a couple things. Number one is one price. We just have one price, and I'm going to walk you through where that price comes from. But we know that buying a car is one of the top things that people hate, and it is. It's on the list of top 5 things that people hate, along with going to the dentist. Okay? We know that. We know why that buying experience exists, and it has so much to do with the back and forth and the haggling and traditional stuff. So we get rid of all that. We have one price. Our price comes from a very competitive price, comes from how many days our cars have been on the lot as well, how they're selling around the country, how they're selling at auction, and how they're selling in the aftermarket world, all of which will be on the screen if you decide to buy a car from us. You'll see all of the numbers where they come from. Full transparency, right? So one price, one person to walk you through the whole process, and that will be me. I'm not going to turn you over to somebody else who's going to close the deal and then turn you over to someone who's going to finance you and turn you over, right? It'll be one person the whole way through. We just believe that if we're establishing the relationship with you, you're going to feel more comfortable with that person than anyone else. Okay? And if and when you decide that this is a place you want to do business, we're going to have you out the door in 1 hour. One price, one person, 1 hour. And they give you a little bit of the history and the background as to where each one of those pieces come from. It was the most disarming step I've ever been through. And the way it was explained, here's the visual aid, right? And so guy one day on the job could walk you through, here's how we do it over here. And then immediately he comes behind and he clicks on the next screen, and the next screen comes up and it says, you, exclamation point, and there are all these little boxes, and it says, so now that I've told you a little bit about me, so I'd like to know a little bit about you if that's all right. You can see a lot of our cars around have roof racks on them and kayaks and canoes. You can see and they got one that's got, some guy in the back made these beautiful custom wooden kayaks, and they're sitting on top of a Honda Pilot on the floor. And you know, Colorado's a really outdoor state, so based off of what people like to do, there are a ton of options that are available to you. Let me just ask you a few questions. What are you into? Are you into football? Are you into skiing? And so everything that I attempt to get in the greet, they're getting on step 2. And step 1 is just this complete and utter disarming to make you feel good and make you feel comfortable to where you're then happy to come clean on that data. So it's not an acting job, it's just let me ask you a little bit about you, and they click the boxes of what's important to you, and once you say that, then when we get to the other screen about your car, that car that you picked comes up on the screen with the rack on the top of it, with the kayak on the back of it, pulling a dirt bike on a motorcycle. So cool, right? And you're like, oh, that's exactly. I mean, how many times have we built a car online or gone to Triumph and built a motorcycle, and you're like, that's the one right there. Or I want to black the wheels out of that truck, and there it is right there on the screen. And then they say, let me, we got a huge lot here. It's going to take me about 5 minutes to pull your car around. While I do, you can see there's one right behind you. It's got a couple extra things on it. Let me show you those. So they have a fully loaded one on the floor. And he does a vehicle walk around of the fully loaded one, right? To tee up, you might want to consider some of these things over here. Now let me go get your car. They go get your car and they bring it around. And your car now doesn't have the brush guard on the front of it or the fill in the blank, right? And all of a sudden makes you want it. And their P&A is about $1,700 per car on average, which is astounding in the world of automotive, that every car leaving their lot has $1,700 of P&A on it, and it's because of that sales process. Their closing rate is astronomical as well. Point to all that being, there are a lot of advancements that are happening in the car industry, and my point is not to bash the car industry, it's to understand the difference between need-based selling and want-based selling. And the changes to the sales process can allow for the same feeling of connection that I'm attempting to get in step 1. They just do it in a different way. They disarm you first, and then that opens the door to you wanting to talk. It's very interesting. Again, research. What have you learned lately? What's new about the industry that we've tried? Let's go to the back. We'll take our break. We'll get through this row, and then we'll take a break here.
I'm Craig Neff. I'm a sales manager with Triumph Las Vegas. I got into the motorcycle industry in the 70s when I was an active racer. Been about 29 years of retail and 7 years working for a motorcycle starting in
A lot of history in that store of racing with your owners. Yeah, they've got some guys in that store that have just been racing and hugely popular on the racing scene. So stories sell. right? That story of their history sells. Stories sell. Whatever stories you have, stories sell.
Come in there, a lot of people like come in with the memorabilia from Mike and Mark and Smith and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a little bit of a lot of fun.
What, did you fly in last night?
Yeah.
What was the temperature in Vegas when you left?
About 108. That's why I stayed.
I don't know why you got Vegas and Arizona. I don't know why you do it, man. Whoo! What do you sell?
Trent, oh, you mean we sell? I like to sell the experience of my passion of writing for so many years ago, 8 years of writing, and I think that carries over to a lot of people. I want to talk to people that we want everybody in the store to share their experience with the customers, and it shows. We have the highest reviews of any motorcycle dealers in the Las Vegas area. A lot of it is repeat customers. I just sold my 6th Triumph to a customer the other day in 4 years. He's had this for so a lot of good customers, of course, even though we have a really wide area. We're
Yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere, so people come from all over, everything. It's just like,
Very cool. Guys, what do you do in life? When I say stories sell, what do you think life is? Stories. Telling stories, soliciting stories. You tell stories at the bar, tell stories at the campfire, tell stories at the dinner table. How was your day at school, kid? These are stories, right? Honey, how was your day at work? We're soliciting stories and we're telling stories. Human engagement is about stories. The more storytelling you can do and the more you can pull out of people, it's a really key point, pulling them out of other people, the more the person's going to want to work from you. It's the pull out. I think a lot of people, and we haven't heard it yet, but invariably somebody says, what do you sell? And they say, I sell myself. Right? It's a very stock answer to say, I sell myself, and it's very known in the automotive industry that you sell yourself, and then you sell the dealership, and then you sell the car, the widget, whatever it happens to be, right? Well, that's all well and good, but selling yourself, a lot of people think selling yourself is pushing content onto the customer. Here's something about me, here's some cool stuff that I do, here's why I'm important to you, here's why. Selling yourself has nothing to do with the push. It's about the pull from other people. Because every bit of psychology says the more you're talking and I'm actively listening, the more you like me. I'm selling myself by not saying a word and being genuinely interested in you. It's about the pull from, not the push to. A lot of entry-level salespeople make that mistake. They try to push to as opposed to pull from. If you just go back, look at the word education. Break apart the word, educo. The Latin root word educo comes from to pull. It's not a push, it's to pull from. It's the idea that the content is already in you. I need to pull it out of you. I just need to explain it in a way that you understand so that you learn whatever the bullet point is that I'm trying to make. It's the pull out of, the pull from. It's just the way we're designed as humans.
My name is Austin Gates. I'm a new sales person with Freedom Eurocycle in Las Vegas. Been doing it about a month now.
You like it?
I do, a lot. Yeah.
So fun.
Compared to the touring industry that I just came out of, it's way more fun.
Yeah, it is. It's exhausting.
Yes, it was.
Right on. What do you sell?
Relationships.
Okay. Good. And by the way, a lot of people think, well, I'm brand new. I just don't know enough people yet. The first thing I'm doing if I'm a new salesperson is making my sales manager pull the report of anyone who bought a bike from us in the last 2 to 3 years from a salesperson who's no longer here. That's who I'm calling. Because I don't have my book of business yet, but I'm going to tap into what I call the owner orphan base. A bunch of people who own a bike who've been orphaned because they don't have a salesperson anymore. So if you're new, go after that 2 to 3 year window of people who bought a bike from a salesperson not here anymore. Anthony.
Anthony Markle, Triumph Reno. Been doing finance now for 3 years there. US sales. Previously was in the medical technologies industry, and very happy to be out of that.
And you doing F&I?
Yeah.
What are you selling?
It really just depends. I mean, enthusiasm is really it. If you keep people enthusiastic about the product, which is easy for me to do, being high energy, you let down guard, people become a little bit more receptive, and then especially carrying it over from the sales floor, like, oh man, that bike's awesome, and then taking it into the F&I room now. Let's work on your monthly payment, just like we were talking, these bikes are built by humans. Let's make sure 7 years down the line when you still got this bad boy that you ain't paying for nothing but the monthly payment.
Yeah.
Having that transition, being able to flow with the customer.
So something to keep in mind. I don't want to break your flow here or your rhythm, but keep in mind most people are turning their bikes between year 2 and year 3.
Oh, totally.
So anything you sell them in F&I that's extended past the 3rd year is giving them a reason to not come in and trade again. Be careful selling products in year 4, 5, and 6 in the F&I world, because you're causing them to not stay in the same turn cycle.
Usually what I explain to people is that our warranties are transferable, so year 3 when the next new Triumph is out,
Yep.
guess what? You get a higher resale on your bike, because when you go out and sell it to someone else, they get this awesome warranty with it.
Which, perfect. As long as they know there's value and they're not losing out on buying the 4th and the 5th and the 6th year, right? I'm a big fan of sell 3 years or less of everything, because your warranty's coming to an end. It just gets it in their mind that it's time to turn. It keeps them in that turn cycle. One of the things Triumph's had a hard time with is keeping their turn cycle in that 2 to 3 year window. Triumph will tell you their turn cycle is every 6.1 years, something like that, if I remember that from the meeting. Right? Which most people don't find Triumph, much like Harley, most people don't find Triumph until later, late 30s, early 40s-ish, and then I'm on a 6-year turn cycle. How many Triumphs am I going to have? As opposed to, what if we got a guy in his 20s and got him on a 2 to 3 year turn cycle, right? Think about how many bikes we could turn through. So again, this is 30,000 feet looking down.
David Pashak, I still enjoy it, put those motorcycles here in Lakewood, Colorado.
He's